Hello, white chocolatiers. How's everybody doing? Weather's getting really nice. NBA playoffs coming up. NHL playoffs are starting. And with the NBA playoffs coming up, the number one question in professional basketball is, what is going to happen with the Cleveland Cavaliers? And here's what I'll tell you. First off, the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be just fine. And you know why that is? Because they have LeBron James. And I know you're probably saying, oh, he's probably one of those unbiased LeBron James ride or die, biased bandwagon, whatever. Actually, I'm a little bit more towards the opposite. I think Michael Jordan's the greatest to ever play. But I am also unbiased, or at least I try to be, and so I do believe that LeBron James is one of the top 5 players all time right now. And I actually don't like LeBron James. I actually am, you could probably classify me as a LeBron hater, even though I know he's great. I just don't like to see him succeed. But that's just me as a sports fan. But here's why the Cleveland Cavaliers are perfectly fine. I'm from SEC country. Grew up UGA fan. Georgia Bulldogs every weekend. And the reason I can tell you the Cleveland Cavaliers and LeBron James are just fine is the same reason that I know that every single year, out of the top 10 teams in the country, the odds that Alabama's ending up in the national championship are usually about 25%. Obviously, Vegas odd makers, the odds don't play that high, but for the sake of argument, let's be honest, every single time college football starts, everyone that hates Alabama sits there in the back of their mind going, dang it, I really hope that Nick Saban is not making it to the championship this year. And more times than not, you're wrong. More times than not, I grew up watching Georgia. More times than not, Georgia doesn't make it to the national championship because usually they have to play Alabama in the SEC championship game. SEC is easily the best conference in football. Don't even debate that. So, the same reason that I can tell you the Cavs are fine is the same reason I can tell you that the New England Patriots are fine. And why can I tell you that? Because within almost every sport or every league, there's one team that you know that sits in the back of your mind every single year, and one player or team, every single year that you say, dang it, I really hope he doesn't beat my team on the way to the championship this year. You know who else is on that list? People like Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and the New York Yankees. Because every single NFL season, it's like when Colin Cowherd talks about every single year LeBron James should win the MVP. Every single year, New England should be the favorites to win the Super Bowl. You can't really argue with that. Every single year, I think the New England Patriots, now maybe the next couple years will start to decline, but I mean, if you look at last year, it doesn't really seem like Tom Brady's on his way out yet. So that's what I'm saying, is in every single sport, and first of all, I'm absolutely a hater of all these kinds of teams. I'm not a LeBron fan. I'm not a Yankees fan. Actually, I'm an Atlanta Braves fan, so, shout out to me. And I'm also a Washington Nationals fan. But nonetheless, I'm not a Yankees fan. I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a Redskins fan, actually. And I actually grew up as a LeBron hater. So, you can't call me out for being biased, because every single year, in every single sport, football, you have the Patriots. Baseball, you have the Yankees. College football, you have Alabama and usually the entire SEC. And college basketball, UNC, Duke, Kansas. In every single sports league, there's one team that you know going into the year they should be the favorites. You just don't want them to be. I absolutely despise the Patriots. I hate Tom Brady, even though I know he's the greatest quarterback to ever live. And I also think that he should have gotten way more blame, and the Patriots should have gotten way more blame for the Deflategate, but they didn't. And that's another thing. It seems like all the time every single time you want something bad to happen to one of these teams and there's a chance of it, odds are it probably won't. That's why when we were watching, a couple months ago, I was watching the Super Bowl with my family, with my parents, with my dad and my brothers. And we saw the Falcons go up 28-3 at halftime. And this is word for word what I said. My dad said to me, well, looks like this game's over. I'm going to bed. I said, I wouldn't bet against Tom Brady and the Patriots. I said, I really want to. Every single time I want them to lose because I hate the Patriots. But I know that they won't. And I'm not sure if it's just the fact that they're so dominant or that all of these teams have some kind of aura where almost something can never bad happen to them, except for when you have people like Deshaun Watson and Clemson Tigers. Because I really thought this year that Atlanta would beat New England. And I saw one statistic. The last 7, I believe it was, NFL MVPs that played in the Super Bowl that were quarterbacks lost. Cam Newton lost. And as soon as I saw that statistic, I thought, this is going to be a rough one. Because I'm from Georgia. I'm from Atlanta, actually. And I grew up, I was there when Michael Vick was popping. So, I'm a Falcons fan. But I knew that whole game, and I told my dad, I want to bet against the Patriots, but I'm not dumb enough to do it. My point in saying all this is, like the Yankees, like Duke, Kansas, and UNC, you can't bet against, don't bet it, because it's usually one team against the field. It's not, that's not what it is. It's that team is the field. The Patriots are the field. And everyone else is not. So your odds are really good by picking teams like the Patriots and obviously UNC. So where am I going with this? Well, LeBron James is one of those few magical wizards in sports that happens, that brand that happens to hold that aura, that magical entity that and I'm not superstitious at all, but when it comes to sports, I'm real superstitious. Like, I honestly believe there's some kind of black magic that's going on with LeBron James and the Patriots and all these teams that I hate, because every time I want something bad to happen to them, it doesn't. So what I'm saying is we don't even have to talk basketball to prove that the Cavaliers will more than likely make it to the finals. I would be willing to bet, if I know that I'm going to have 4 kids when I get older, I'm willing to bet 3 of them that the Cavs make it to the finals. Because I'm pretty sure that no matter what happens, I absolutely despise LeBron James. But here's the thing. How are you going to bet against the guy that's been to 6 straight finals? And not all of those times he went to the finals was he the number 1 seed either. So just because the Celtics are the number 1 seed doesn't mean they're going. And what it also, I'd like to point out, another reason why the Cavs are going to the finals, because the number 1 seed is the Celtics, right? Ooh, Celtics are so good. As much as I love me some Isaiah Thomas, name me another notable player on that team that's almost an all-star. LeBron wants to talk about he needs help. Isaiah Thomas needs help. Because Isaiah Thomas is not LeBron James, and he's pretty much doing it all by himself. Plus, the one thing the Cavs have going for them is they have LeBron James. Like, whatever team LeBron goes to, I honestly think they should just change the name to the Cleveland LeBrons, the Miami LeBrons. Because he's literally judge, jury, executioner. He is GM, president, owner, and superstar all at the same time. Anything good that happens, it's because of LeBron James. Anything bad that happens, it's because of LeBron James. So, and here's a couple other things. Yes, the Cavs play terrible defense, which I think could hurt them a little bit. And they've slowed down a little bit, but as much as I want bad things to happen to them, it doesn't matter if they were 0-40 since the All-Star break. I still don't think anything bad would happen to them. Because they have LeBron James and because I hate them. They also have the number one rebounder in basketball, who is Tristan Thompson. They probably have one of the top 3 most clutch point guards in Kyrie Irving. And they have a pretty good array of snipers when you talk about James Jones, J.R. Smith, Iman Shumpert, because in the NBA, when they're hot, there is not a single player hotter than J.R. Smith. I don't care what you say about Steph Curry. He's not getting hotter than J.R. Smith. Not happening. The Cavs are too good. Well, and that just makes me really actually kind of pissed off that LeBron James says he needs help when he has the team that he has. Because chances are you're running to another finals and it doesn't even matter who's on your team. But you have a pretty solid team, and if it's not for Kyrie Irving, the Cavs lose the finals. Because Kyrie Irving knocked down that shot. So, what I'm saying is, no matter what, LeBron James has this magical aura about him that says, I'm winning this ball game. I'm winning. I'm going to the finals if not winning the entire thing. Because that's just who he is, and he has that magical entity that so do the Patriots and the Yankees and everybody else.